go ahead and get started with our news briefing now. Thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing for this Wednesday. We wanted to start off our briefing today to talk about fireworks and some reminders about safety and what to know about fireworks. We're very pleased to have Commander Andy Rosas from the Monterey County Sheriff's Office to talk about both the risk. I mean, there's a lot of fun, but there's also a lot of risk and a lot of rules that people should know about. Hi, Commander.
Hi, and I apologize ahead of time. I'm having to do this by cell phone because all of the computers just crashed down at our area here in Monterey. But good afternoon, everyone. I am Commander Andy Rosas with the Monterey County Sheriff's Office, and I am here to talk a little bit about fireworks, both the safety and we should say the enforcement side of what's going to be happening here for the 4th of July. So no secret, everybody's heard the fireworks going off for several weeks now in anticipation of 4th of July. And it's very important for the entire county and our communities to know that there is enforcement going on out there. It's not just the Monterey County Sheriff's Office enforcing the unincorporated areas of Monterey County, but our surrounding law enforcement partners, cities throughout Monterey County have also announced special enforcement. They've got extra patrols and hotlines even set up for people to call in. So we would refer you to your local city web pages to be able to obtain those specific numbers that you can call in to report fireworks. In the case of the Monterey County Sheriff's Office, I think the most important thing for us to tell everybody is that fireworks, whether safe, sane, or unlawful fireworks, are not allowed anywhere in the county of Monterey. It's just, and we're talking about the areas that are unincorporated. So there may be cities within Monterey County where safe and sane fireworks are allowed, but when you're talking about the rural areas or even communities like Chular or Castroville, fireworks of any kind are not permitted. We are encouraging the community to contact law enforcement, to contact the Monterey County Sheriff's Office. Our number 831-647-7911. That is our non-emergency number. We encourage people to call there. If you have information, you can remain anonymous if you want to provide information on where fireworks are being discharged. And we will respond to these calls as our deputies become available. We also ask for patience from the community because, as you can imagine, there are going to be hundreds of calls about illegal fireworks, and we have to take them one at a time. So as we're able to get to them, we will get to them. Rest assured, though, that we appreciate the information that's being called into us so that we know where to focus our efforts. There are so many different things that you could get in trouble with when it comes to fireworks. So, we have to talk about simple possession. If you're in possession of fireworks that are not safe and sane, that are illegal, we're talking about the mortars, even something as simple as a bottle rocket or M80s, anything that goes boom or shoots up into the sky, that's illegal in the state of California. And simple possession of that is a crime. So if you're driving down the road, you get pulled over, and our officers or deputies or California Highway Patrol, whoever happens to pull you over, discovers that, you can and very likely will be issued a citation for possession of those illegal fireworks. Now, depending on what you have, if you've got a large quantity of some fireworks extravaganza grade mortar rounds that go up in the sky, similar to what you see at amusement parks or fireworks displays, you could actually be looking at some jail time over that because of how dangerous these items are. I've actually spoken to the Monterey County Bomb Squad and have learned that firework powder, the powder that's inside fireworks, is some of the most volatile stuff that they can deal with, even more so than gunpowder, for example, something that you would find in ammunition. So it's not it's not an item that we want driven around in a car or stored in an unsafe manner. And that's why these enforcements take place. So rest assured, if you're caught with some of these items, you are looking at some pretty stiff penalties depending on what you're charged with. But let's now talk about the danger side of it. Some of you may have recently heard there was just an incident in the city of Salinas a couple of days ago where a person actually lost a limb as a result of a firework. So this person sustained some pretty serious injuries that will affect them for the rest of their lives, all due to a firework. Exactly what happened with the firework, that's not the issue. The fact is, it was an illegal firework that caused this just horrible accident and horrible injury to this individual. That is the last thing we want anybody to go through in their life. So this is why it's important to not discharge these fireworks, not be in possession of them, not use them. Leave the fireworks to the professionals. Let them be the ones that discharge these big, beautiful fireworks at some of our local displays that will be taking place. We know that there are multiple displays taking place in Monterey County. We also know that there's displays taking place in some of our surrounding counties. Take your family to those events and let the professionals handle those fireworks. It's going to be the same thing that you see at that professional public fireworks display than if you start setting them off yourself. You set them off yourself, you're not only risking your own safety, the safety of your neighbors and surrounding people who just may be innocently standing around, but you also face that risk of getting arrested or severely fined for those violations. We also have to remember that from a safety aspect, there are other things that people can get charged with that they don't always remember. And some of those things include child endangerment. You could be an adult that's providing these illegal fireworks to a child. And if that child gets hurt or has a serious risk of getting hurt as a result of you providing that individual or that child with those fireworks, you're looking at a felony child endangerment charge. And, the worst case scenario, if something actually happens to that child, you could find yourself in a lot of legal problems because you thought you were doing something fun and innocent. We cannot stress enough. Leave the professional grade fireworks, the illegal stuff, the big, beautiful colors that you see in the sky to the professionals. Attend one of our local fireworks displays, take the family out there and have an enjoyable time, something that you will remember for the rest of your life, instead of having to suffer through an injury or some type of criminal prosecution for having something illegal.
Andy, thanks so much for walking us through that. I wonder if you could also clarify, people see fireworks stands in certain cities and then they don't see them in other cities. So here we have someone who's going to go to the fireworks stand that has the fire marshal's seal on it. They're going to buy what is safe and sane, but then if they take it into unincorporated county, they can't use it. I wonder if you could talk about that so people kind of know where you bought it is where you have to use it.
And so we have to stress that it's not just about Monterey County, the unincorporated areas of Monterey County, but there are cities as well that do not permit safe and sane fireworks. And most of these cities have signs at their city entrances, their main entrances, that indicate all fireworks are illegal. I can tell you that driving into the city of Monterey over the past few days, there are big electric signs that say all fireworks are illegal. Yes, it is legal for you to go to cities like Marina and Seaside, our South County cities, Greenfield, Soledad, King City, Salinas. They do sell and allow the sale of safe and sane fireworks. And those safe and sane fireworks can only be used within those cities that they are sold in. So if you buy fireworks in a city where it is legal to purchase them, you can discharge them legally in those cities. Now, you also have to make sure that you follow the rules. I know that some cities will have restrictions on you can buy from a certain date to a certain date. Of course, we know that's usually the evening of 4th of July is when sales end. But once 4th of July has passed, even those safe and sane fireworks are illegal to discharge, and you could actually be fined by a local city government if you continue to discharge. In the county, that's the same case. Because all fireworks are illegal throughout Monterey County, you can also find yourself getting cited and or arrested, again, depending on what type of firework you have, for simple possession or discharging of those fireworks. So yes, you can buy fireworks legally. Let's just use as an example. You live in the town of Chular, and you go to Salinas and you buy fireworks legally at one of the stands. Perfectly legal. But if you go back to Chular and you start discharging those fireworks and our deputies come across you and catch you doing that, you face a fine. If they're illegal fireworks, you face even stiffer penalties than a simple fine or a simple ticket. However, you can go discharge them in one of those cities where the safe and sane fireworks are for sale.
And just one last thing, we hear about fireworks being sold, illegal fireworks being sold, by people either on social media or word of mouth saying, hey, I've got some stuff if you want to do your own fireworks. What is your recommendation for people who say, well, who's gonna know? I'll grab something from this guy and we'll have a great time.
Well, there's different ways that you could get caught, and you may not be putting any thought into that. So yes, first of all, we do have past experiences and reports of people that sell illegal fireworks. Sometimes they park adjacent to the legal fireworks stands and they're selling them out of the trunk of their car. Or you may see a post on social media. You may have local businesses that are selling these, and it's all illegal. It's all unlawful. Monterey County Sheriff's Department recently put out a press release about an arrest that was made where the individual driving had over 100 pounds of illegal fireworks, mortars and rockets and whatnot. There was also just last night an announcement that Seaside PD had made an arrest of someone with several hundred pounds of illegal fireworks. We know they're out there, but we have to remember they're illegal to possess. Depending on the size and type of the firework, it could be considered an explosive that raises to the level of a felony crime and could cause you problems of that magnitude, which is fines and or jail time or both. Now, with reference to the fireworks that people are buying legally, we also have to remember that any type of alteration of those fireworks, unfortunately, sometimes people mess with those. They can turn those into felony level explosives as well. So it's important that, if you are in an area where you can discharge safe and sane fireworks, discharge them as they're meant to be discharged, not in any altered way.
Great information. Commander, thank you so much for joining us on this day before the 4th of July to really just keep getting that message out. It's just do the right thing, follow the rules and have fun and don't get hurt, right?
That is absolutely the case. In this case, we wish everybody a very, very fun and memorable 4th of July, but memorable for the good reasons, the happy times, and nothing that has anything to do with any injuries or arrests or fines.
Thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't add from our friends at Hitchcock Road Animal Services to please secure your pets. Not all pets like loud noises, and they see a lot of missing animals after 4th of July. So keep them secure, find a quiet place for them so you don't have to go looking for them in the weeks after 4th of July. Thanks, Andy, very much for joining us.
No problem.
So now we're going to move on to some other great news today. If you have a small local business, our partners at the Monterey County Business Council have launched a small business development center to serve both Monterey and San Benito counties. There are locations in Salinas, Soledad, and Monterey, and these centers are going to bring some terrific resources. We're very pleased to have Roger Gilbert, who is the new director of the Resource Center. Hi, Roger. Thanks very much for being here today.
Good morning, Maya. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone. I am the new director for the Small Business Development Center, which covers Monterey and San Benito counties. And thank you for the slide. And as Maya said, we have 3 locations. My contact information is there. You can always go to Central Coast SBDC.com, Small Business Development Center. Next slide is okay. And our purpose is to help small businesses grow and thrive in our counties. Are hosted by the Monterey County Business Council, which has hosts other organizations as well. We are the newest one, SBDC. Next slide is okay, Brian. Thank you. And, but they also do host the Monterey Bay Apex Accelerator, which helps people with government contracts, build business back, which help.
Roger, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we can hardly hear you. I wonder if you might be able to get a little closer. Or
helps. Is that better?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. And Leadership Monterey County, which is an organization for current and future leaders. The Monterey County Business Council operates these programs to support and enhance the local business community. Also involved with the Monterey Bay Defense Alliance and the Monterey Bay Business Alliance. On the next slide, just a little bit of my background illustrated in logos. I have experience in financial services, manufacturing, wholesale distribution, commercial lending and especially government guaranteed lending, and a background with two LA-based universities. So I have a broad background in business that I plan to bring to the SBDC to help our small businesses. Next slide, please. What we provide, the main thing that we provide is expert one-on-one consultations for small businesses at no charge. We talk to businesses and help them with obtaining access to capital, with marketing, business and strategic planning, operations, financial management, human resources, and other subjects that are of interest to them, and to fill other needs that they may have as a small business or as a pre-venture entrepreneur trying to start a small business. Next slide, please. And so we deliver assistance to strengthen small businesses, contributing to the growth of the local, state, and national economies. And we endeavor to be recognized in our communities as the preeminent provider of business consulting, education, and information to small businesses. And we are judged on our results, which are businesses started, training and business opportunities for underserved groups provided, and increased tax revenue and employment jobs. We help businesses so that they can hire more people. Next slide, please. We serve Monterey and San Benito counties. And we are funded by the SBA. We're funded by a number of state of California grant programs. We are also funded by Monterey County, the Community Foundation for Monterey County, the Monterey Bay Economic Partnership, and all of these individual municipalities within the counties. Next slide, please. And that was my introduction. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask. And if you'd like to contact me, you can contact me at any of those numbers that we put up or on the website. Central Coast Small Business, Central Coast SBDC.com. You can reach me at 831-915-1458 or Roger at MCBC, Roger at MCBC.biz, B-I-Z. Thank you. I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to working with all of you and helping our small businesses.
Roger, thanks so much for walking us through what the center is going to do. I think you've probably already been out and about talking in the communities with the business people there. What are you finding that they are most interested in for services?
One of the most common things that people are interested in getting help with is obtaining funding, bank loans, venture capital, all of those things. Most often, getting a loan, whether it's a conventional loan with a bank or other lender, or an SBA loan, other types of loans. That's the most common thing that people ask for these days. They're asking with help on social marketing, social media, and marketing, and also writing a business plan. People who have an idea for a business or are working for an idea on a business need help with putting together a business plan.
So it's you've got people with great ideas and things that they want to put together, but that whole business plan of making a successful business is not as easy as it sounds, right?
Well, it's, people sometimes just don't know where to start. It just seems daunting. They don't know how to get started and start writing. They need someone to point them in the right direction and tell them what to write about. I can refer them sometimes, or any of you who speak to someone, you can refer them to us. And the SBA is also very helpful, sba.gov. has a number of business plan templates that people can follow that are very helpful also. Can help can help them to get started, just to have an outline at least to know. I need financial projections, I need marketing, I need to talk about my competition, I need to improve my resume. You just need a little extra push sometimes.
And then one question, could you talk about the California Competes application period? And then again, if you could scoot closer to wherever your microphone is so we can hear you better.
You know, I'm not necessarily familiar with the California Competes application period. I,
Okay, so that's, you know, we'll refer that question elsewhere. So for people who are coming to your main offices in Salinas, and then you've got these satellite offices, is San Benito up and running for for businesses there, or are they coming to Salinas at this point for assistance?
We can do it any one of a number of ways. So yes, our services are available in San Benito County as well. We're just starting out, so we've been focusing more in the local area in Monterey County. But we have advisors available to help those folks. And it can be done in person, it can be done virtually. They don't necessarily have to come to Salinas or Monterey or Soledad. We can have an advisor meet them, or we can go online and do it virtually.
So for San Benito County at this point, you're bringing the services, you know, to them. If they reach out to you, you can send someone to meet and provide the assistance until you get some satellite.
Absolutely. The plan is that at some point we'll do the same thing in Hollister and have an outreach center there as well.
Terrific.
You know, not too far down the road, but we're trying to get our feet on the ground and get moving first and see what happens here before we get too far away and too far afield.
Well, it sounds like businesses are at least in Monterey County know you're here, and they're already asking questions, and that's exactly what I'm sure that you were wanting to have happen with the launch of the center.
Absolutely. We did our three grand openings and got to meet a lot of folks in Salinas, Monterey, and Soledad. And we've been out talking to people at meetings just like this, and out, having coffee and meeting people. We're meeting bankers and venture capitalists and everyone else in between, spreading the word.
That's fantastic. And Roger, it's really nice to meet you. And I really appreciate you joining us today and helping us get the word out about the center and those great resources.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you again. So moving on to some other topics, our Department of Social Services is working to get the word out about a temporary change for those clients who access community benefits. There's going to be a lobby remodel going at 1000 South Main Street in Salinas, and Annette Gallegos is here to share how clients can get services during the remodel. Hi, Annette.
Hi. So I have a PowerPoint I'm going to try and share. Sorry I didn't send it earlier.
No problem.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So yeah, so we do have 3 offices, and our main one is in Salinas, 1000 South Main Street, and it will go under remodel. And that starts on July 15th. And it will take place for about 2 months. So we anticipate by the end of September it'll be completed. During that time, we will be having a temporary lobby set up, which will be much smaller, and it's really on the same location, but it'll be a few doors down. So it's Suite 216A. Which will serve as our temporary lobby. So there is limited capacity, and we are going to be limiting services really to emergencies. So we are encouraging customers who want to apply, report a change, or submit documents to complete that either online at benefitscal.com if it's a non-emergency, where they would set up an account and they can report a change, they can apply, they can actually send a message to their worker and even upload documents. They do not want to set up an account, they can actually go into a website that we created during the pandemic, which was our DSS upload, so that they can take a picture and just upload their documents and it'll come to our queue. Or they can call our customer service center at 877-410-8823. And of course, they could always mail their documents or fax them in. So this is what our lobby, the front of our lobby currently looks like when you come over. So really just down that same location will be the temporary lobby, and we will continue to have our drop box off in the front of our lobby. We also had opened up our self-service center, which is really right around the corner, and it's Suite 219, which will be available to teach customers how to actually utilize benefits cal.com, so our online services, and they actually help individuals go on to the EDD website and apply for unemployment if they needed to, and they will scan documents for customers at that location as well. So I did want to say, so why are we doing this lobby remodel? So during our winter months and certain times of the months, we have peak times and our lobby gets full and we have a line out the door. And so this lobby remodel will actually double the size of our lobby. Our lobby currently has 9 windows and it will now have or will have 18 windows to serve customers. And it will actually be located on the other side of our building and will be really close to our self-service center. So customers can utilize that or come into the lobby if they actually need to see our staff. So we also will have workstations in there so that they can actually zoom in and actually talk to a customer or to a worker. Um, if they would like and don't need to be seen in person. Of course, our goal is always to serve our customers, and we will be always looking at what is the situation, even during our temporary lobby. Is it an immediate emergency? Some of those like emergencies could be I'm sick and I need to go see a doctor, or I have a prescription, or I don't have any food, or I'm homeless. Those kinds of things, we will always see them in immediately in our temporary lobby, and of course, even in our regular lobby. I also want to say anyone who wants to apply could always look at where's the nearest office, especially if they're needing to apply and we have a long wait because of the small lobby that will be temporary for 2 months. We have an office in King City, which is 116 Broadway. And we also have a lobby in Seaside. And so those will also be available if customers would like to visit those who will be fully operational. Um, so really in just opening it up for questions, we just want to make sure everyone is aware that this will occur and could really be a change for some individuals who are usually will come in and be seen by a worker right away, and that won't happen in Salinas for about 2 months necessarily if it's a non-emergency.
Well, and we really want to get the word out, first of all, so that people can just know what to expect and then not make a trip for nothing. But also, I think you want to reassure people that if they do have an emergency, just because you're under a remodel, you can still assist them. That they
Yes.
really have something that is life-threatening or life-changing, they should come in.
Yes. Yeah, and our normal processing rules still apply. So if they come in to apply, the cases will still be processed within for like CalFresh for food assistance. It's still 30 days if it's a non-emergency. Cash and Medi-Cal is still 45 days. So those rules are still there, and we still will be uh, really trying to meet all of those regulations.
Of course. And Annette, if you would send me your slides afterwards, we'll share them with our press partners. I really appreciate it. And
Of course.
thanks for coming on and talking about the remodel. I think in the end, it is worth the wait because it sounds like you're really going to have a lot more space for people to get what they need, make it a lot easier. But of course, we've got to go through the remodel first.
Of course, and when we are open, we would love to come back so we can show you what it looks like, and also to really emphasize on the assistance that we're going to try to provide individuals that really need to meet certain items. So like applying for unemployment, and we can show them and help them right there and then.
Great. That's fantastic. We'll have you back. Appreciate it. Nice to
Thank
see you again.
you.
And then last but certainly not least, we're all aware of the excessive heat that we're having right now, which is going to continue possibly into next week. And that means if you are serving food outside, say it's a 4th of July picnic or a 4th of July party, or even taking food outside over the long hot weekend, you want to make sure you take some extra precautions. We're very pleased to have Edna Botello from our Environmental Health Bureau to talk about some safety information when it comes to your food and hot weather. Hi, Edna.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Edna Botello. I am one of the senior inspectors in consumer health with County of Monterey Health Department. And as part of the Consumer Health Protection Services, we regulate and inspect all different types of food facilities within Monterey County. So definitely during this holiday week, we just want to remind the public about the food safety practices that will help prevent foodborne illnesses and ensure to keep these key practices in mind as well. So first of all, I would like to start off with the importance of hand washing, thoroughly washing hands before and after preparing or handling food. Also, to prevent cross-contamination, we would like to make sure that everybody remembers to keep the raw meats separate from other cooked or ready-to-eat food items. Keep in mind to use separate cutting boards and utensils for raw meats, poultry, and seafood. And then following the no bare hand contact, this means wearing gloves or using utensils to touch ready-to-eat foods, such as salads, cut fruit, and cooked foods. The next key practice is cooking foods to the appropriate internal temperatures. So this means cooking your chicken, turkey, and other poultry to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit, cook ground meat to 155 degrees Fahrenheit, and cook fish to 145 degrees Fahrenheit. We also strongly recommend that all households or parties or events to keep a digital thermometer accessible or purchasing one, at least for the holiday as well, to help check your cooking temperatures. Then after cooking, ensure to keep proper holding temperatures. So this means avoid leaving your food out for more than 2 hours. Keep your hot foods at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Keep your cold foods and perishable drinks at or below 41 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember to use your coolers with ice packs to keep your foods cold. Another thing is to remember to cover your food to protect it from any contamination, especially being outdoors or at your barbecue events. Make sure that we have those covers or lids to keep our food from getting contaminated. And then lastly, let's not forget to properly chill food. So that means either refrigerating your perishable foods within 2 hours or replacing or replenishing your ice as well on your ice coolers. So these are, by following these practices, you can help ensure a safe and enjoyable 4th of July celebration, but most importantly, have fun and enjoy time with family and friends as well. So just in brief, washing your hands, focus on preventing cross-contamination, making sure that you're cooking your meats, all your food to the appropriate internal temperatures, and also remembering to keep your proper hot holding temperatures and put away any leftover foods.
Edna, thank you so much for giving us all the bullet points. I think people think it's, but it's an hour, it's been 2 hours. They might be just a little relaxed because they're having the party too, so they don't want to necessarily be the food monitor. But can you talk about what some of the consequences are for when food stays out too long, depending on, what some of the components can create some illnesses that nobody wants to remember after the 4th of July holiday?
That is correct. So leaving food out for too long definitely will also create bacteria, especially if we're not maintaining the proper cold or hot holding temperatures. So any leftover foods that you guys might have for over 2 hours, we highly recommend to either discard the food or making sure that at least the food is getting relocated to either an ice chest or a refrigerator if available. That way we can prevent any foodborne illnesses. So especially with foods as far as your meats, potato salads, egg salads, we want to make sure that we're keeping those potentially hazardous foods in mind, and that we are, it's hard to keep track of the time, but maybe just a reminder of trying to place those food items back either in a cold holding unit or like I said, then discarding after 4 hours. That way we can just prevent anybody from getting sick, any of ourselves or any family member as well.
What are some illnesses that can be caused by food that is not handled properly?
So we can have, for example, salmonella as well. That can be something, or with ground beef. We also have other illnesses like E. coli that we can get. So we want to make sure that we're cooking our meats to the proper temperature as well. So we just want to make sure that we're paying close attention to any cross-contamination. For example, if we just cooked some raw chicken and then we go and without washing our hands, we go and prepare the salad because somebody wants salad. So we go and cut some lettuce and we prepare a salad. So keeping in mind also the cross-contamination aspect of foodborne illnesses that can be caused through that cross-contamination. So just making sure that we pay close attention, and it's simple steps that we can take: washing our hands, washing our utensils, switching out our cutting boards as well, and using your thermometer. That would be very helpful as well.
And I know a lot of people tend to go out, for the 4th of July, and then on Saturday and Sunday, they may go out to one of our parks, they may go out to the beach, and they may take a picnic. It sounds like with some modifications, people can use these same important steps in just kind of in a more simplified way with whatever they're taking with them.
That is correct. Yes. So just even parks and have hand washing accessible as well. So just remembering to use what we also have around and just taking a few extra steps to washing your hands. That will definitely be very helpful.
Thank you, Edna. I really appreciate you walking through this. We want everyone to have a safe and happy and delicious 4th of July, no matter what it is that they're cooking up and wherever.
That is correct.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us. And thanks everyone for joining us on the news briefing this week. Our next briefing is next week, and we'll see you then.